Nothing on me. All right, Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High God, Yahweh, by Hashem YAHAWASHI, by Hashem Rachach. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops. That great millstone for teaching me the truth. And Brother Rabbi Knapp coming out with a lesson, Lord's will, edifying to the Lord's elect. Kind of dripping on my phone, trying to keep my phone from getting wet. But, you know, this word got to go out. And, of course, we're going to do what we always do. We're going to look in the news, see what this so-called white man's doing, Esau, Edom. You know, off the top, you know, he's robbing, he's stealing, he's killing. The U.S. offers Ukraine a 15-year security guarantee for now. Zelensky says, yeah, 15 years security. We ain't going to be here in 15 years, man. Get the fuck out of here. Let's see what this is talking about. It says the United States is offering Ukraine security guarantees for a period of 15 years as part of a proposed peace plan. Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky said Monday, though he said he would prefer an American commitment of up to 50 years to deter Russia from further attempts to seize its neighbors' land by force. So what do you think? You think you're just gonna keep going to war forever, and then y'all switch up lands, and then y'all trade and make agreements every couple of weeks and every couple of years, and then the ceasefire ends, and then you go back and come to the drawing table again and do it all over again? It's not gonna work like that, man. You up out of here. You up out of here, man. That's why Revelation talks about the Lord coming and stopping all these wars, man. That's the only way you're not gonna have war, because when you read the book of Revelation, what's that, 6? Let's go there. You don't understand what the so-called white man's here to do. His purpose is to bring war and bring all this bloodshed and robbing and stealing and killing and doing all that shit. That's what he was created to do. Okay? Revelation chapter 1 and verse number 4. I'll start at 3. It says, and when he had opened the second seal, I heard the second beast say, come and see. And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword. So that red horse is talking about the so-called white man's, it's talking about Esau. Okay, when you read Genesis 25th chapter, and the first came out red all over like a hairy garment, and they called his name Esau, that's talking about the so-called white man. That's the first biblical white man that was ever in the book. Okay, so don't think a nigga that did this much damage in the world is not inside your Bible. He is, man. The Lord created him to be like that. He a low-level nigga. Come down here. He used to be black, though. You know, when you read about it in Genesis, the serpent in the garden that beguiled Eve was a so-called black man. That was Esau. That was the spirit of Esau. And then he came back through the regeneration as Cain. And what did he do? He slew his brother. And now he's back as the so-called white man, Esau, Edom. He's ruling the whole world according to Job 9:24, and he's going to be destroyed this time for all the wickedness that he's done all the way since the beginning. So he got a long reputation in this Bible, man. We ain't dealing with anybody new. It's the same nigga. Okay? So he was here to take peace from the earth. So you ain't going to get, when you see Duck talk about peace, you should laugh at that, man. Everything he says, just flip it backwards. He told you that he was gonna, he said he's gonna bring peace, so you know there's gonna be wars. He said he stopped 8 wars, so he's going into 8 wars. He said he's gonna, 2026 is gonna be greater, more, better prices for your goods and all of that. So you know inflation is gonna increase, this because that's how the devil speaks. When you speak to a person who's like a snake got a forked tongue, so everything it says you kind of gotta like turn it upside down and really get the truth, because they can't speak the truth. It tells you in Psalm 58 and 3 that, let me grab it. So when I hear this news, you know, just know you're dealing with a liar, you're dealing with a thief, you're dealing with a nigga. So you know how to talk like, when you talking to, you know, a crackhead come up to you and he start, yo, what's up, you know, he start rubbing his nose, yo, what up, man, you know, you doing, yeah, man, you know, I need $1 to get on the bus. You nigga, you don't need to get on the bus. You want to get high. That's the same thing with the so-called white man. When he said he confiscated a oil tanker, he stole it. Just because he said he confiscated, nah, nigga, he stole the tanker, man. And he gonna steal some more shit because, like, what I believe is he don't got nothing, man. He don't got. You don't see the Africans robbing and stealing shit because they got they got abundance. They don't need to go steal. But these crackers do. They gotta go do that. And when I say crackers, I ain't talking about your true believers out there that got pale skin. Y'all are okay. You gonna be saved. The Lord loves you. Don't be hurt. Even though you got the complexion for protection, don't be. They ain't talking about you, man. We're talking about Esau Edom, man. All right, that's what we're talking about. Let me grab this in Psalms 58 and 3. The fucking devil. And you ain't got to look far to find out what type of wickedness he's doing. He's either lying, stealing, or killing. One or the other. Psalms 58 and 3, the wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. So you know he's a liar. As soon as they be born. It tells you in Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, he's going to send a nation that's from far that his language you shall not understand, something like that, roughly paraphrasing. You know, it's because he speaks with a forked tongue. When you're dealing with the wicked, you know, it's like, you know, I'm speaking English. You know, if you came up to me, we could have a full conversation in English. But when you talking to a damn demon, a devil, a wicked nigga, you gotta understand, he ain't talking like that, man. He's talking like a fucking serpent. You're dealing with a snake. So that's a whole complete different conversation. I was watching a video last night about the 6G memorandum that he has where he's gonna put implantable devices inside of your body. Pretty much the Nokia CEO or the WEF, he was at the World Economic Forum, and he was saying how your smartphones are 6G, they're gonna be inside your body. Just like the apostles and elders been telling you in Revelation the 13th chapter, right? How a device is gonna be put into your hand or your forehead, and you gotta have this device in order to buy or sell. So that's what your president's implementing. That should be all over the news, but it's not. It's not. You gotta have an eye to search these things out, man. You'll put one little thing out there, and you don't hear it, man. So much shit gonna be happening because he don't want you to really know about that. So he might go bomb somewhere tomorrow. He might go bomb some shit. It might be a school shooting today, just so you don't see what happened with Netanyahu when he coming to visit him today. So you don't hear what's going on with that. Iran just said they got war with the Israelis, Europe, and the U.S. Full-scale war, they said. So that's the weak saying I am strong, okay? That's the scriptures. But these precepts don't pop in you Christian dumbasses' minds, okay? You think you went to church Sunday night or morning, whatever, dressed up to impress like you're going for a job interview for a so-called white man, and you danced and you sang and you rejoiced over a damn false god, okay? And you have no clue what's going on out here, and you ain't gonna say nothing about it. Because today, what are you gonna do? You're gonna go back to work and beg your so-called white boss for a raise, and he ain't gonna give it to you. As a matter of fact, you're gonna lose your job soon. You're gonna lose your job. And you're gonna get a device in your right hand or your forehead. That's what I'm talking about. Because you niggas have no clue. You should have been talking about this MOTB and what you're gonna do with you and your family when this comes to pass. But these churches, they ain't preparing you for shit. So when this happens, you're gonna ask him to get the MOTB. You're gonna be like, sir, please, thank you. You're gonna say thank you when you get it because you're of this world. We're not of this world, man. Let me grab this in the book of John 17. John 17. Verse 13, it says, now come I to thee, and these things I speak in the world, that they might have my joy fulfilled in themselves. I have given them thy word, and the world have hated them, because they are not of the world, even as I am not of the world. That's right, Yahawashi was not of this world. That's why we're not of this world, man. We know how to, we're forsaken in this world. Okay, we're condemning this world with Yahawashi. With this word, man. We're aligned with the Lord. The Lord's going to destroy this place, but you want this place to survive. So you're not aligned with the will of the Lord. So when you hear these things about wars, you get all sad and shit like that. No, that's what we're rejoicing in. I don't know what the hell y'all were rejoicing in yesterday. The 6G memorandum, I'm rejoicing in that. That's a good thing. Because I don't believe that's for me. That's for y'all. That's for you beasts that's out there. The people who lack understanding. The people who really don't know the Lord. And you don't know the Lord because the Lord don't want you to know him. You ain't gonna stand stiffly for him, man. You ain't part of the first fruits, so it don't matter. It don't matter what you believe. Your vanity is gonna catch up with your ass, man. You finally gonna see what it means to be a beast. There's a commercial I was watching. It was saying how it was a commercial, and it was an AI commercial, and he was basically saying how his beasts love him so much. That's y'all. That's you. That's what you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and neighbors. You're a bunch of beasts who love your slave master, man. He gonna bring you to the door. He gonna give you the all in your ear because you love him forever. And that's how you're gonna get married. That's the marriage that you got coming. We gonna go into the chambers with the Lord, and we're gonna consecrate the marriage that way. Watch as you get destroyed. That's the celebration. But you're gonna go into one of these tripping centers that he got, and you're gonna get married right there. He's gonna put his covenant inside of you. He's gonna defile you. But let me keep going. John 17, verse 15. I pray not that thou shouldest take them out of the world, but that thou shouldest keep them from the evil. So YAHAWASHI is talking about them. He ain't talking about everybody. Okay? He's actually talking about his disciples. Okay? He's ultimately talking about his elect. He's not praying for the whole world. And he's not praying for all you Israelites, because you know you Israel, that don't mean nothing. Not all Israel is Israel. He ain't gonna save a lot of you so-called Negroes. Y'all gonna be in the war. Y'all are gonna be enlisted in, since y'all like going to school so much, that promissory note that you signed, because you niggas can't pay for school. You're gonna pay for it by going into war. How you doing today, sir?
Good. Are you a saved man or a lost man?
Well, we'll find out. You got a question?
Yeah, if you were to die today, who are you depending on to pay for your sins?
Pay for them?
Yeah.
What is sin?
The wages of sin is death.
What is sin?
Anything that contradicts God's laws in the Bible.
That's right. Who are the laws given to? You mind coming in this camera with me?
To the whole world, yeah. He died on
He gave the laws to the whole world. You mind if I grab this precept for you?
Sure. Grab what?
Precept. So it's a verse.
Okay.
Leviticus 26 and 46. These are the statutes and judgments and laws which the Lord made between him and the children of Israel in Mount Sinai by the hand of Moses. Was any other nation on the bottom of Mount Sinai when he made this covenant with the Israelites?
Well, they may not have been right there at the Mount of Sinai, but they were in Palestine. Okay. Gentiles everywhere.
So these laws, was Moses a Gentile or was he an Israelite?
He was Israel.
He was Israel, so he gave those laws. Who was he talking to? His laws were given to his people, right?
Yeah.
It went to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, right?
Yeah.
So the rest of the heathen nations, they didn't understand that. They don't understand the laws, and they don't follow the laws today.
Right?
They still wicked as hell. Yeah. They follow other gods, false gods. And only the real true believers of the Lord are going to be keeping the laws in these last days, don't you think?
Yeah. So again, back to the question. Are you a sinner?
I am a sinner.
Have you repented?
I have.
Who you put your faith in to save your soul?
Yahawah Bahashim Yahawashi.
Is that Jesus? The one I refer to as Jesus of the New Testament?
Yeah.
He died and rose again.
For who?
For everybody, Jews and Gentiles.
Where does it say that?
Whosoever shall call upon the name of the Lord shall be saved.
Well, you talking about Acts the 2nd chapter?
For God so loved the world, John 3:16.
Okay,
he loved the whole world.
Can we go over there?
If you like, go where you go.
Acts 2, verse 21. And it shall come to pass that whosoever shall call on the name of the Lord shall be saved. That's what you just said, right?
Right.
But the next verse says what? Ye men of Israel, hear these words. YAHAWASHI of Nazareth, a man approved of God among you by miracles and wonders and signs, which God and by him in the midst of you, as ye yourselves also know. So he's talking to Israel.
Well, that's because there were Jews there, mostly Jews there in Israel when he was preaching that.
Yeah.
But that doesn't disqualify Gentiles.
So you're telling me this whole book,
which whole book?
the Bible,
right,
consists of all Israelite men, prophets, from the same nation. Paul. They're all Israelites. Paul's an Israelite. Jeremiah, Isaiah, Haggai, Zechariah, Zephaniah. They're all Israelites.
Yep.
So you're telling me you believe that the Lord gave these covenants to both the Israelites and the Gentiles?
Well, he commissioned them and commanded them to go convert.
Right.
Go into all the world and preach the gospel.
Right.
The death, burial, resurrection of Christ. For everybody.
So now we have to understand one thing, because between the book of Malachi, right, which is the last book in the Old Testament, and the New Testament, Matthew, there's 400 years missing out of the book. So have you ever heard of the book of the Apocrypha?
Yeah.
Do you know about the Maccabean period?
Yeah.
You know about the Greeks, Alexander the Greek, how he conquered the whole known world and Hellenized the Jews?
There was always a remnant of believers in every
Well, a
period.
remnant of Israel.
Yeah. And Gentiles that were converted.
Now these Gentiles that you're talking about, do you think these are heathen nation from you think this is a heathen, or do you believe that a Gentile also consists of somebody who he might be a direct descendant of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, but because of these different captivities that the nation of Israel has gone through, like under the Romans, under the Greeks, they had to convert into their laws. They had to, that's why I was bringing up the Maccabean period, because
Well, they were supposed to. They had a choice. They could be martyred for their faith.
Right.
Like Charlie Kirk was, as a testimony for Christ.
He got murdered.
Stephen, John the Baptist, martyrs for Jesus.
So what does Charlie Kirk have to do with the Bible?
He was promoting the Bible, and people hated him, so the one man killed him, murdered him.
I think he started talking about those small hats in Israel. That's what happened to him. He can't talk about those people.
Who were the small hats? The Jews?
Yes. Well, a Jew just means you from the tribe of Judah.
Well, you could be a tribe, part of any of those 12
Yeah, but
tribes.
isn't the Lord supposed to come save people and then bring them back to their land?
Yeah, he did. He brought them out of
In
Babylon.
1948?
No, back before that, Babylon.
In Babylon?
Yeah. I don't want to argue.
No. I'm glad you asked, because I want to share this precept if you don't mind.
You want to do what?
I want to grab another Bible verse. Okay. 1 Corinthians 12:2. Ye know that ye were Gentiles, carried away unto these dumb idols, even as ye were led. So
There he's talking to Gentiles, right? Basically.
he's saying you were Gentiles.
Right?
So he's talking about, now this is to the church of Corinth. These are other Israelites.
Well, how do you know that? Some of them have been.
Well, we got to go to the book of Maccabees.
No. Those are Protestant Gentiles, not Protestant Gentiles.
But he said you were Gentiles. That means you're no longer a Gentile. Can you no longer be a Gentile?
You become a Christian, a born again Christian, you become a
Does that say that in the Bible?
child of Abraham, yeah. I'm a son of Abraham by faith, even though I'm a Gentile, I'm still adopted in to the Israeli time frame, or at least that mindset that God sees me as he sees a saved man. That's the difference. You're either saved or lost. You're on the way to heaven or hell, right?
Okay.
You're not going to purgatory, are you?
See, purgatory, that's not in the Bible.
No, it's a false religion.
Yeah.
Catholic, false religion. Preach the Bible. Preach
No,
the Bible.
come here. I want to talk to you.
Well, I got other things I need to do. You got your opinion, I got my opinion.
Well, I just want to tell you, salvation's only for the Jews.
No.
John 4:22.
You're lost.
Okay. Hey, I try to help you, man. Where was I? Let me grab it. Let me grab it, man. John 4:22. I'm not speaking out of my own heart, man. And this is why, a lot of our people, they'll learn from, he'll be a pastor at a church, and he'll tell you all types of shit, But he's quick to run, man. He's quick to run because he's being condemned through his spirit. He got a Bible in his hand, but he's never going to grab a precept. He don't know what the word precept means. Okay? He understands that there's 400 years between Malachi and Matthew. He's still calling the Lord Jesus, so he's talking about Christians. He ignores the salvation of Israel. This world don't want to hear the truth, man. His whole life, his family, he old, and you know, just because he's a so-called white man, he might be Israel. Who knows? I doubt it. But you know, you try. You gotta test the spirit by the spirit. I couldn't even get into Esau. I wanted to get all the way back to Esau, but I think the spirit knew what I was trying to do, and he was out. He didn't want to hear about Esau, man. Because that's what I was trying to bring him into the water, man. Talk about you Edomites. See, if I was out here, they want to see you out here gang banging and shit. I didn't say nothing to him. I saw him walking across the street. He was walking in the rain. I don't even have a Bible in my hand. I'm just reading out of my phone. And then he had a U-turn right there. The spirit jumped on him right across mid-street, mid-walk. And that's when he came over here. And I wonder what Bible he uses. He probably uses the ESV. Ain't nothing wrong with that, but you know, the KJV, Esau's trying to run. He's trying to run away from the truth, man. And you know what? Eventually, this truth is gonna catch up with your ass, man. It's gonna catch up with your ass. A lot of these motherfuckers were throwing rocks during the Boston, when they were transitioning your kids into these white schools. These old motherfuckers were throwing rocks at the buses for the little kids. Okay, so a lot of them got sins from their youth that they got to pay for, man. So they're getting real condemned. It was all right to hate niggas, Latinos, Native Americans, and be upfront, blatant about it, about the kids and shit. They don't want to hear that y'all are Israel. They don't want to know that they've been inherited lives. But it is what it is. And you're going to know when your ass gets put into slavery. And that's what we're talking about up here. Yeah, he gave it to them, but, you know, he also gave it to us. And no, he didn't. You got a whole... You shaved your beard this morning. You're a natural-born heathen, man. All these years, the Lord still ain't give you this wisdom. And this wisdom's been here since 1968, 1969. You look like he's around that era. You didn't want to listen to Abba Bivens? You didn't know who Abba Bivens were? You didn't get the word? Have they not heard? They don't want to hear, man. The whole world's hearing this word, man. Now go in the harlot house and let them teach you nothing. Did I grab this precept yet? John 4. Verse 22. Ye worship, ye know not what. We know what we worship, for salvation is of the Jews. So let's start right there. Salvation is of the Jews. Why would the Lord say that? Are you calling the Lord a liar? Is he lying about that? Did he just say that to say that? That's why I like grabbing that precept, man. Because to me, that kills it all. That's straight out of the Lord's mouth. He's talking to a Gentile. Ye worship, ye know not what. Came to the well. You couldn't get into this water. Just like that Gentile couldn't. You don't get it. And then you walked away. Go get your husband, lady. He's not a woman, but I'm just saying, that's kind of like what happened. He didn't say, oh yeah, God, I came here because God so loved the world. Of course, we're going to save you too. No, you don't know what the hell you worship, man. Just like you Gentiles don't. You heathen. Okay? You don't know what the hell you worship, man. Let me grab this in John 3:16. A lot of Christians, y'all be stumbling over these precepts, man. John 3, verse 16. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. And then he goes, whomsoever. I go to Acts 2, and it says, ye men of Israel, hear these words. So what are you talking about? It sounds good without knowledge. And then he's talking about purgatory. Purgatory? Really? Nah, man, you're going into slavery, man. You're going into slavery. That's going to be your purgatory. You're going to wait to get your assignment for the day. You're going in the pit. If that's what you're talking about, I don't know about no damn purgatory, man. It tells you in the book of Job that What's that? Job, 3rd chapter. I'm all over the place, lock it. So John 3:16, God so loved the world. You look at that word world, goes in the cosmos. But my question is, if God loved the world so much, why did he say in 1 John, 1 John chapter 2, verse 15, it says, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. So you're telling me that the Lord loved the world so much that the love of the Father is not in him? Like he loves the world more than his Father. That's what you're saying when you say that. Because there's no consistency with your speech. You don't know what you're talking about. Throughout the Bible, you gotta go, you gotta read, you gotta eat the whole roll, number one, with the Apocrypha, which you lack. Okay? You're not gonna understand the Gentiles, you're not gonna understand any prophecies. You don't even keep the law, so you're not showing your faith by your works. You go in the clefts of the rocks to go worship your God. Go in that cleft, man. Go in that rock. Go on the side of the building in the dark and go worship your false God. Don't you know that the Bible talks about you worship a false prophet? The Lord talks about that, the false prophet. That's where he's getting that nonsense from. So if you love the world, the love of the Father is not in you. And we know that the love of the Father is in YAHAWASHI. John 17, verse 4. I have glorified thee on the earth. I have finished the work which thou gavest me to do. And now, O Father, glorify thou me with thine own self, with the glory which I had with thee before the world was. So what is he talking about? Going back to his first estate. Okay? Going back to before the world was, man. Okay? Through the Spirit, he's the second in command under Yahweh, under Most High Yahweh. But when he was here, he was of no reputation. He was the lowest. Even Israel was talking shit about him. You know, he wasn't anything to look upon. He didn't have that rank that he had from the beginning when he was down here. And he did it to exalt the Father. John 17:6, I have manifested thy name unto the men which thou gavest me out of the world. Thine they were, and thou gavest them me, and they have kept thy word. And that's talking about ultimately the elected Israel. They're going to receive it. They're going to keep this word. And when he even come up to them, see, if you were modern day Christian, y'all would have probably started, you would have told him you were a Christian. He would have said he's Catholic, and y'all would have had a cordial conversation. He probably would have asked, how was your Thanksgiving? Oh, it was great. What about your Christmas? Oh, it was fantastic. And then y'all would have shook hands and prayed in the street like some heathen. And then y'all would have walked away thinking y'all are happy and gay. No edification. The Lord's not glorified in that conversation. Nothing. Just vanity. John 17 and verse 7. Now they have known that all things whatsoever thou hast given me are of thee. Exactly. Everything that thou hast given me are of thee. All the power that I was had, everything I've done is all through the Spirit of Yahweh. All right? For I have given unto them the words which thou gavest me, and they have received them, and have known surely that I come out from thee, and they have believed that thou didst send me. That's right, because how else would he have been able to do the things he was doing if the Lord wasn't with him? The Lord had to be with YAHAWASHI for him to perform all these miracles. John 17 and 9, I pray for them, I pray not for the world, but for them which thou hast given me, for they are thine. So he says, I pray for them, I pray not for the world. That same word world is the same, it's cosmos, like in John 3 verse 16. So he ain't even praying for the whole world. Not just the whole world, but even within the world of Israel, he ain't praying for them either. The Lord would have prayed for that man so he could have had, because this faith is a gift, according to Ephesians 2:8. The Lord would have been praying for him so he could have this knowledge in these last days. And the Lord, he ain't thinking about him. The Lord don't give two shits about him, man. He sent him up here so I can try to work on my swinging my sword. Keep swinging your sword, man. Okay? Batting practice. That's what he came up with. He wanted me to knock him out the park, and he's going. He's still going. And it's just a couple precepts. You don't even need to say anything. You know, there's so many things that come to mind. You thinking, man, how do I chop him up? Do I give him the sword? Do I hit him with the axe? Do I hit him with the dart? Do I let him drown himself? Let him hang himself? Let him hang himself. Let him talk. Be nice. Because the word, it don't matter what you use. You can hit him with the Dillinger. But ultimately, Christians, they cut themselves. Just like those prophets of Baal when they were around the altar. They started cutting themselves. And that's what he was doing. A lot of y'all do that. Y'all come to the altar, you start cutting yourselves. Like it says in the book of 1 Kings, chapter 19, I believe. I'm going to have to go to that. But let me finish this. John 17:10. And all mine are thine, and thine are mine, and I am glorified in them. So he's going to be glorified in the elect. Okay? He's not going to be glorified with you Christians and Catholics. You don't glorify YAHAWASHI. You glorify Jesus Christ, Caesar Borgia, so-called white man. Don't you know, we could have went to Revelation, the first chapter, and burned them with fire there. There's so many ways you could have did it. But ultimately, it's not about just cutting heathen up with the scriptures, man. It's important that we have this word inside of us in these last days, man. Okay? That's most important. Because this is going to be the wisdom and knowledge that's going to leave you stable in these last days. A lot of people, they ain't stable now. He ain't stable. He's out of his fucking mind. Probably dying too. He's probably giving up his wealth to the Catholic Church so he can find a spot in purgatory. So he can come back, like, get the hell out of here, man. Somebody did a video, I watched a video on that a long time ago, and he was chopping up the whole Catholic doctrine. And he was saying how it goes back to Babylon. The priests, just everything, the whole ceremony, the going into the confession booth, and you guys are through. You guys are through. You don't read about none of that shit in the Bible, but you go there. No cardinals. And then they say that the Lord, they call it the Roman Catholic Church. Lord ain't dealing with the damn Romans. They pissed him. They hate the Lord. They have no other God but Caesar, man. Their God is their president. That's who they worship. And guess what? He ain't gonna save you. He is not gonna save you. John 17 and verse 11. And now I am no more in the world, but these are in the world, and I come to thee. Holy Father, keep through thine own name those whom thou hast given me, that they may be one as we are. So he's one. Going back to John 2 verse 15. He can't be one with the Father if the Father is not in him because he loves the world. That's the point of me bringing that out, but I want to grab this last verse. John 17 and 12. While I was with them in the world, I kept them in thy name. Those that thou gavest me, I have kept, and none of them is lost, but the son of perdition, that the scripture might be fulfilled. Now that's talking about Judas Iscariot. But he said I was lost. And son of perdition also refers to Esau Edom. In 2 Thessalonians, that's also talking about him. He's the wicked. Let me go to First Kings real quick. First Kings chapter 19. First Kings chapter 18. In verse 20, so Ahab sent unto all the children of Israel and gathered the prophets together unto Mount Carmel. And Elijah came unto all the people and said, How long have ye been between two opinions? If the Lord Yahweh be God, follow him. But if Baal, then follow him. And the people answered him not a word. Then said Elijah unto the people, I, even I only, remain a prophet of the Lord Yahweh. But all prophets are 450 men, and that's another thing. You know, he's by himself. Elijah's by himself. Dude got 400. The prophets of Baal, 450 men. Okay. Let them therefore give us 2 bullocks, and let them choose 1 bullock for themselves, and cut it in pieces, and lay it on wood, and put it no fire under it. And I will dress the other bullock and lay it on wood and put no fire under. And call ye on the name of your gods, and I will call on the name of the Lord Yahweh, and the God that answereth by fire, let him be God. And all the people answered and said, It is well spoken. So there you go. They were going to put 2 sacrifices up. They were going to put a bullock on this altar, a bullock on that altar, with no fire on it. All right? He's going to put any fire on it. On Mount Carmel, 1 Kings chapter 18, verse 20, and verse 24. Verse 25, and Elijah said unto the prophets of Baal, choose you 1 bullock for yourselves and dress it first, for ye are many, and call on the name of your gods, but put no fire under. And they took the bullock which was given them, and they dressed it, and called on the name of Baal, from morning even until noon, saying, O Baal, hear us. But there was no voice, nor any that answered, and they leaped upon the altar which was made. And it came to pass at noon that Elijah mocked them and said, Cry aloud, for he is a God. Either he is talking, or he is pursuing, or he is in a journey, or peradventure he sleepeth, and must be awake. That's right. Mocking him, man. Mocking him because your God is a false God. He understands that there's only one true God, and his name is Yahweh. Okay? And you heathen don't understand that. So you praying to, we're mocking you too. Because we're telling you that those gods ain't going to deliver you. We understand that. Your God is deceiving you into not knowing anything about the Bible. That's what the whole Jesus thing is about. To deceive you. That's what Satan Claus is about. To deceive you. That's what these lies are about, to deceive you. So you can't get any truth and be sanctified in the truth. You'll never get to this knowledge. First of all, come from the Lord, and the Lord ain't dealing with you. 1 Kings chapter 18, verse 28, and they cried aloud and cut themselves after their manner with knives and lancets till the blood gushed out upon them. And that's what y'all are doing when you come up to this altar, or any altar of any Israelite man. You go up there and you cut yourself, okay? Because you believe in the prophet, you're a prophet of Baal, a false god, okay? That's what it is, man. That's all I wanted to grab, but I'll read a little bit more. 1 Kings 18 and 29, and it came to pass when midday was past, and they prophesied until the time of the offering of the evening sacrifice, that there was neither noise, Salakia, neither voice, nor any to answer, nor any that regarded. And Elijah said unto the people, all the people, Come near unto me. And all the people came near unto him, and he repaired the altar of the Lord Yahweh that was broken down. And Elijah took 12 stones, according to the number of the 12 tribes of the sons of Jacob, unto whom the word of the Lord came, saying, Israel shall be thy name. And with the stones he built an altar in the name of the Lord, and he made a trench about the altar, as great as would contain 2 measures of seed. And he put the wood in order, and cut the bullocks in pieces, and laid him on the wood, and said, Fill 4 barrels with water, and pour it on the burnt sacrifice and on the wood. And he said, do it the second time, and they did it the second time. And he said, do it the third time, and they did it the third time, and the water ran round about the altar, and he filled the trench also with water. So what he did was he took all the water and he poured it around the altar. So he basically drenched the altar in the wood with water, so it make it harder to combust. Okay. But long story short, I didn't want to read it all. I just want to get down to the main point. But I'll jump down actually. I'll jump down a little bit more. I just want to get it to where I'll keep going. Salakia. 1 Kings 18 and 36. And it came to pass at the time of the offering of the evening sacrifice that Elijah the prophet came near and said, Lord Yahweh, God of Abraham, Isaac, and of Israel, let it be known this day that thou art God in Israel, and that I am thy servant, and that I have done all these things at thy word. So, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the God of Israel. Okay? Where does it say the God of the Gentiles, man? Even though we understand the difference between natural-born Gentiles and Gentiles or Israelites who lost their way. You know? So there you go, man. You know, these are things that you got to figure out on yourself, man. Romans 14 and 5 tells you got to be persuaded in your own mind. Can't nobody teach you this word, man. If you don't believe, you don't believe. It's all right. It's all right, man. Ultimately, it's the Lord's will anyways. If he wants you to believe, then you can believe. If he don't want you to believe, you ain't going to believe. And you got to be content with that, man. Okay? This word's not for everybody. At the end of the day, no one really cares if you get the word or not, man. We want the Lord's will to be done. Someone got to be the non-elect. Someone got to be the elect. Whatever I'm cool with. Whatever the Lord got me to do, I'm cool with it, man. Okay? Let his will be done. I want the Lord to be glorified. If the Lord can be glorified and I be a 2/3, hey, let the will of the Lord be done, man. I'm cool with that. But I know when I get back in the kingdom, I know what it is, man. I might have my head down for a little bit, but I'm still going to be way better than any other heathen down here on the face of the earth, man. I'm going to be way up high with my head down. If that's the case. Okay? Lord loves Israel, man. You'll get over it. You'll be happy in the kingdom, believe me. There's a scripture that says, one day in thy courts is better than 1,000 years down here on the earth. Something roughly paraphrasing. One day, man. And you're going to be righteous going in there and being in the kingdom. You know, even though you might feel like, damn, you know, I could have done better. That's what's going to keep you holy. It's going to keep you meek. It's going to be a beautiful spirit, man. We're going to be a nation of kings and priests, man. Still going to be a king and a priest. At least you ain't going to be wicked anymore, and all your sins are going to be forgiven. That's part of your blessing, man. You're going to be perfect in the eyes of the Lord. Even 2/3 of Israel, you're going to be perfect too. 1 Kings chapter 18 and verse 37. Hear me, O Lord, Yahweh, hear me, that this people may know that thou art the Lord God, and that thou hast turned their heart back again. Then the fire of the Lord fell and consumed the burnt sacrifice and the wood and the stones and the dust, and licked up the waters that was in the trench. And when all the people saw it, they fell on their faces, and they said, the Lord Yahweh, he is the God. The Lord Yahweh, he is the God. And Elijah said unto them, take the prophets of Baal, let not one of them escape. And they took them, and Elijah brought them down to the brook Kishon and slew them there. So there you go. So the prophets of Baal, y'all gonna get slewed, which means to be slayed, be destroyed, killed. You're gonna die for your false prophets, man. false prophet. Let's see what pops up. Revelation 16, verse 13. And I saw 3 unclean spirits like frogs come out of the mouth of the dragon, and out of the mouth of the beast, and out of the mouth of the false prophet. And the false prophet's talking about the Vatican. Okay, all these religions ultimately, but Esau created his religious sect, where the Vatican is. He created it, and they created your modern day Christianity and Islam. So that's all under the banner of the false prophet, that wood and stone. Okay, and that's what he was spewing out of his mouth. Revelation 19 and 20, and the beast was taken, and with him the false prophet, and the beast is talking about NATO and the EU. Ultimately, it's talking about Esau's power structure, the beast and the dragon, you know, the Roman Empire and its allies, that whole structure. Revelation 19 and 20, and the beast was taken, and with him the false prophet that wrought miracles before him, with which he deceived them that had received the mark of the beast. That's right, he's going to receive the mark of the beast. He's going to think, oh wow, this thing can tell me my heart rate. This can tell me my when my sugar's low. This has all the biometrics that I need to keep living a little longer. And that's how you're going to be deceived. You're going to think it benefits you. And it doesn't, because it's going to give you cancer. It's going to give you cancer, man. Scriptures call it a grievous sore. You're going to get the grievous sore. And then on top of that, you got the Lord that you got to deal with, and he's going to destroy you. Okay? So on top of you getting cancer, the Lord's coming to destroy you. So you have fun with your false prophet. Revelation 19 and 20. I'll read it again. And the beast was taken, and with him the false prophet that wrought miracles before him, with which he deceived them that had received the mark of the beast, and them that worshipped his image. And that's what he does. He worships. There was a man up here. He worships the image of the beast. That's why he was spewing out that Catholic bullshit, man. I'm getting a lot of Catholics coming up to me, man. Go to your temples. That temple's all the way around here. I'm not your father, man. Go call some other damn devil your father. Go to them. Ask them. Go verse for verse with them. Those lies don't work with us. We understand who we are. We don't need those lies anymore. We're not following Christmas and all that bullshit anymore. You have fun doing that. Your lies, man. And then you make it seem like you're glorifying the Lord. That's a lie. That's a lie. Okay? That's what you believe in. Okay, then you're not well studied. You don't look up you're not diligent. You don't meditate on the law. All right? You don't have the spirit of prophecy. You worried about salvation when prophecy hasn't even come yet. You don't hear about the wars that are about to kick off? I started off with Zelensky asking for 15 years from the duck for security. How you gonna no one can promise you security from Vladimir Putin, you fool. So if that's what he came all the way here to America for yesterday, and that's what he told him, then he didn't tell him nothing that he told him a lot. He wasted his time. Okay? And that's why Vladimir Putin bombed Kiev last night. The day before he came over here, he bombed Kiev, and he gonna keep bombing those Ukrainians. He gonna keep bombing them. And he ain't gonna stop because Donald Duck wants peace in the world. Get the hell out of here. And the duck duck gonna go talk to Putin, and Putin gonna be like, nigga, you know I ain't stopping. You can talk all that mess you want. I'm coming to get, I'm taking it off. Revelation 19 and 20, at the end, these both were cast alive into a lake of fire, burning with brimstone. So the beast, the false prophet, you're going to get burned with fire too if you believe in that shit. You trusting in the system, you trusting in the false prophet. That's what he's created to do. They call it mass. Okay? It tells you in Isaiah the 60th chapter, gross darkness to people. That's what his position is. He's here to deceive you. And a lot of y'all are deceived, and it's only ultimately for you to be destroyed. Make you feel good about love and peace. You got Pope Leo going around the world talking about peace. I never see him bring out a Bible verse. He's never bringing out the Bible. He's supposed to be a representation of God down here on the earth, man. That's not a good, well, y'all failed at doing that. All those accusations show you that place ain't right, man. And what do? You keep sending your kids there. Your grandmama still go there. Your mother, your father still go there. A lot of them gonna be burnt up because they don't wanna receive the word. And the Lord sends out men. They go out. They do the work consistently. And you ain't gonna get it. More Edomites come up to this altar than any other nation. Some of the kids even stop. But majority of Israel, they're through, they're done. As this world perishes, you're gonna perish with it. As the more inflation goes up, your value goes down. The more this place gets destroyed, you're getting destroyed. But the men that the Lord is sustaining, their value is going up. Their value is going to increase. Their value is going to be like unto fine gold, okay? And that's because the Lord's dealing with them. He's giving them wisdom, knowledge, and understanding to sustain them. Okay? Let me grab this. Revelation 20 and 10. And the devil that deceived them was cast into the lake of fire and brimstone, where the beast and the false prophet are, and all shall be tormented day and night forever and ever. So you might want to know who the false prophet is. A lot of y'all talk shit on the car, oh, you're a false prophet. No, the false prophet is the Vatican, man. The Roman Catholic Church. That's the false prophet, and that's what y'all believe in. The modern day Christianity, that's what you believe in. That's the false prophet. I'm not deceiving the whole world. If you think I'm the one that's the false prophet, then you don't know the Bible, man. It said deceive the whole world, man. No one knows who the hell I am. So get the hell out of here, man. So it can't be me. Even if I was, spewing lies, it still didn't reach the whole world. The whole world believes in Jesus Christ, and that's not because of me. I don't even believe in him. I'm telling you that that's the false prophet. So if you don't believe that, then hey, you ain't diligent. You're not looking these things up. Acts 13, verse 6, and when they had gone through the Isle unto Paphos, they found a certain sorcerer, a false prophet, a Jew, whose name was Bar Jesus. Bar Jesus. Bar Jesus, man, a false prophet, a Jew. Okay? Let's look at that word, Bar Jesus. What does that mean? In Acts 13 and 6. Bar Jesus. Son of Jesus, a certain false prophet. That's right. Son of Jesus. That's what y'all Christians think y'all are. Y'all think y'all bar Jesus too. It should say bun Jesus, but maybe because it's in Greek. Y'all think he's the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. And you think you're the Son of God, so you bar Jesus. You're a false prophet. You're the son of a false prophet. Okay. It says, of Chaldee origin. Yep, you're a Chaldee, you're a Babylonian. Where I want to go, I forgot where I wanted to go. Hebrews chapter 10, verse 26. For if we sin willfully, after that we have received the knowledge of the truth, there remaineth no more sacrifice for sin. So if you sin willfully, you heard the truth, you continue to sin, then there remain no more sacrifice for sin for you. Once you've been privy to this information, we'll say it like that. Let me grab this in John 15 and 22. It says, if I had not come and spoken unto them, they had not had sin, but now they have no cloak for their sin. So now you don't have a cloak for your sin, because ultimately YAHAWASHI, he came, you saw the wonders, you saw the works, but then he sent out his apostles, and his word has gone out. So that's how YAHAWASHI is meeting you, through his word. And that's how he's meeting you. That's how he's knocking at your door, like it tells you in Revelation, the 3rd chapter. This is the way, walk ye in it. When you turn to the left, when you turn to the right. So the Lord sends out men, and it tells you in John 10:2 that my sheep hear my voice and I know them and they follow me. So the word is going out. That's YAHAWASHI knocking on your door. That's him trying to sup with you, trying to get you to receive the word. But if you can't receive that, even though you've been privy to this information, no more cloak for your sin. All right? No more cloak for your sin. So now you got to pay the Lord. And just like that old man said, when he came up here, that the wages of sin is death. That I agree with. I agree with him on that. Because it's biblical what he said. Even though he could be a demon. Because the Lord, he's going to separate the wheat from the tare. I don't need to separate the wheat from the tare. I'm just another man that do the best I can to give. I treat everybody. I try to treat somebody come up here. You don't know if it's the Lord sending them to get fed, man. You don't want to offend one of his little ones. And if it's an old man, you gotta, who knows? Let's see. Let's go into the scriptures, man. Let's see how you feel about it. And a lot of y'all get offended and you run up the street. So that ain't no more cloak for his sin, man. So he probably gonna be through. Whether he's an Israelite or not, he's probably done. Let me go back to Hebrews 10, verse 27. It says, but a certain fearful looking for of judgment and fiery indignation, which shall devour the adversary. So you're adverse. That's what Satan is, man. He's an adversary. But ultimately, everyone that's coming up against the Lord's word, his children, okay, they're adversaries. And they got nothing to look forward to but judgment and fiery indignation. Coming from the thermonuclear missiles and those chariots that are coming here from the Lord. So that's what you got coming to you. If you want to reject, you think you rejected me, hey, it's all right. You really rejected the word, man. That's why I go straight to the word. I'm not up here talking sports with you damn heathens. Give a fuck about the sports team. They gonna be destroyed too. The book of Hebrews chapter 10, verse 28. He that despised Moses' law died without mercy under 2 or 3 witnesses. Yeah, before. He despised Moses' law. Your ass is put to death without mercy. Your ass will get put to death, man. You despise the law. Of how much sore punishment, suppose ye, shall he be thought worthy, who have trodden underfoot the Son of God, and have counted the blood of the covenant wherewith he was sanctified an unholy thing, and have done despite unto the Spirit of grace. Yeah, you done despite unto the Spirit of grace. This is your grace period. And look what you've done with it. You scoff, you talk shit, you mock. You're gonna die without mercy. How much more of a sore punishment to you? And Moses, there was no grace with that. There was no mercy with that. Under 2 or 3 witnesses, you were getting stoned to death. So you hear this word and then it don't resonate, you feel some type of way, you want to talk shit, leave a comment, and then dip off. Good luck. Now the Lord's coming. You've been marked. You've been marked, and the Lord's gonna find your ass. You can't run from the Lord. You can't run from the Lord, man. No matter where you go, He's everywhere. Just like that movie Final Destination. He's gonna find you, man. Hebrews chapter 10, verse 20, verse 30. For we know him that have said, vengeance belongeth unto me, I will recompense, saith the Lord. And again, the Lord shall judge his people. That's right, the Lord shall judge his people. So you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. And according to 1 Peter 4:17, let's grab it. He's gonna start with the believers first. And he's gonna get the rest of y'all later. From top to bottom, he cleaning this place up, man. Cleaning this place up. 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 17. It says, for the time is come that judgment must begin at the house of God, and if it first begin at us, what shall the end be of them that obey not the gospel of God? Yeah, what shall the end be of them that obey not the gospel of God? Your end is not going to be salvation. If that's what you think. If you obey not the gospel of God, your end's not going to be salvation, sitting on a throne and all that, being defended by the Lord. He said, my servant shall eat. You think you're going to eat in these last days when it's famine hit? Please. Please. You might watch the men of the Lord eat. He might give you an opportunity to see someone else eat. You can envision in your mind how good it tastes to them. He might give you that opportunity. You might watch the men of the Lord drink a nice cold glass of water during a drought. He got a cup and he got ice. All right. You're gonna ask me, can you dip your finger in your cup and give me just a little sip of your glass, sir? Like the rich man and Lazarus. 1 Peter 4, is that it? So, you want to obey, then that's what you get. Let me grab this in the book of Amos. Chapter 3. In verse 1, it says, hear this word that the Lord hath spoken against you, O children of Israel, against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, you only have I known of all the families of the earth, therefore I will punish you for all your iniquities. So There you go. Therefore, I will punish you for all your iniquity. This dude's talking about the law and the sin and all of that. We've been going for about a half an hour now, but are you going through these curses in Deuteronomy 28? No? Then you might not be Israel then. These are supposed to be a sign unto us. Show you who Israel is, man. The heathen, they don't believe, man. That's a person, he don't believe. Strike one, he don't believe. Strike two, he look like an Edomite, man. That's 2 strikes, man. I don't know about the 3rd strike. 3rd strike is, I don't know, he could be. At least he believe in the Lord. He has some faith. We all started with some type of faith. We had the zeal of the Most High, but not according to knowledge. It's really up to the Lord, you know. You know that you once were Gentiles carried away unto these dumb idols. We were all the same way. You don't know he worships a dumb idol. You don't know that he brought Nimrod's penis into his living room and he bowed his head to it this over the weekend. Because that's what the heathen pray to. They put their hands together like this. This is called the Vesica Pisces. That's a pussy hole that they put in their face in when they pray. That's because they worship the creature more than the creator. That Christmas tree is Nimrod's rod. It's Nimrod's is his rod. And you bow down to it. That's how perverse this place is, man. It's perverse. That's the lowest form of worshiping the creature more than the creator, man. And that's what y'all do. Look that shit up, man. The Vesica Pisces. You got the Dolce & Gabbana symbol. That's the Vesica Pisces. You got so he does that all over the place. You wear a suit and a tie to go to church. That's a phallus, man. That's a rod. These people are profane, man. I'm trying to tell you, this is the wicked we talking about, man. It's a wicked ass world. And this is what it means by being in gross darkness. You people don't have no knowledge, man. You have no knowledge, and that's why you're going to die. Because you're doing the same shit these nasty pedophile people are doing. You're doing the same shit. And then you bringing your kids over there to go worship the same shit. Get the fuck out of here. You deserve to die. But if you were part of the nation of Israel, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, this is why you're going to have your head down in the kingdom. All this profanity, everything's going to be known. You're worshiping penises and private and fucking nasty shit, man. Nasty, nasty, nasty. That's why you feel comfortable going to the Vatican. He got on the ceiling little naked babies, and he even makes the Lord naked. Come on, man. Blasphemy. You feel comfortable there. That's why all the homosexuals go there in droves. In droves. All the heathen go there because they don't worship the Lord. They're a bunch of demons and devils. Hebrews chapter 10 and verse 31. It is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living God. That's right. It's a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living God. All right? You got many ways to destroy your ass. It's a fearful thing. You don't fear the Lord, man? I'm out here because I fear the Lord. I'm afraid of what he could do to me. Y'all don't have no fear of the Lord. That's why you ain't out here. I got the fear of the Lord on me, man. I already shouldn't even be here. I already experienced. I shouldn't even be here talking on this phone. I swear. And I always think that when I wake up, man. Every day to me, I don't take it for granted anymore. Okay, because I understand that just like this. Out of here, man. You out of here. And it's not, I don't have a fear of death. I got the fear of the Lord. I fear the Lord more than death. All right. Death, I don't give a fuck about. The Lord, I'm scared of that, man. I'm scared of the Lord more than death, man. And you should be too. All you heathen out, all you Israelite men, women, children, y'all need to fear the Lord. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. For fools despise wisdom and instruction. Only a fool would despise wisdom and instruction. But the most majority of this world, they're going to despise it. I'm glad I got the fear of the Lord because it keeps me from not being like y'all. Like you unbelievers that are out there. You soft, weak ass, you're going to die, man. You unbelievers are going to taste the death. Like it tells you in 2nd Ezra, the 9th chapter. Let me grab that real quick. What time is it? Oh, it's almost time. It's time to go. I got to go. 2nd Ezra 9. You kind of got to start from the top. But I'm going to go straight to the point. 2nd Ezra 9 and 12. The same must know it after death. And actually, I'll start at 11. No, I'll start at 10. 2nd Ezra 9 and 10. For such as in their life have received benefits and have not known me, and they that have loathed my law, loathed means to despise his law, while they yet had liberty. Your liberty is your grace, that this grace period that you have. And when as yet place of repentance was open unto them, repentance meaning to turn back to following the law, statutes, and commandments, ultimately believing in YAHAWASHI. But that's a gift. Okay? You show your faith through your works. If you believe in the Lord, you will be keeping the law to the best of your ability. You'll be practicing the righteous acts, not the unrighteous acts. Okay? Not the ways of the heathen. 2nd Ezra 9 and understood in 11 and understood not but despised it, so they despised his law. Now his law also goes into his precepts, his commandments. The 613, that's what they say. I think there's more than that. The 600, we'll go with 613. Because 613, 6 plus 1 plus 3 is 10, which is perfection. It's a perfect amount of laws in this Bible. That's how you get perfect, man. Meditating on those things that the Lord put into the Word. But you need that whole Word in you. You need the whole roll. You need to have a full cup. Okay? And that's the best way to make your calling and election sure, is having this Word inside of you. Okay? Because it tells you in Isaiah 33 and 6 that wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of the times, and strength and salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure. Okay, so you want to have that inside of you. Okay. 2nd Ezra 9 and verse 12. The same must know it after death by pain. So some of y'all are going to know it after death by pain. Okay. And some of us are going to learn through these precepts, through our forefathers, how to be obedient. We're going to practice. We're going to meditate on that. Hebrews chapter 10 verse 32. But call to remembrance the former days in which, after ye were illuminated, ye endured a great fight of afflictions. That's right. We've been illuminated just like now, and we're enduring a great fight of afflictions. You get afflicted, well, it don't matter what this devil does with his economy, how many wars, if he starts kicking doors, it don't matter. We're gonna endure it all because we got the Lord with us. We got the Lord making sure that we're good. So we don't have to worry about any afflictions that it come upon us. We're going to endure it. Hebrews chapter 10, in verse 33. Partly whilst ye were made a gazing stock both by reproaches and afflictions, and partly whilst ye became companions of them that were so used. For ye had compassion of me in my bonds, and took joyfully the spoiling of your goods, knowing in yourselves that ye have in heaven a better and enduring substance. That's right. We have in heaven a better and enduring substance. And we do these things because we understand that there's something better than all of this, man. Okay, this is something better than the world that we live in today. We have an enduring substance. You don't have anything that's enduring on this side, man, except your faith. The Lord gave you that. Okay? Hebrews chapter 10, and verse 35. Cast not away, therefore, your confidence, which have great recompense of reward. Your confidence is your faith. Okay? Con and fidelity, I think it means with faith. That's what your confidence is. Which have great recompense of reward. So it has great recompense of reward. Okay? The main reward you want now is to be saved. Ultimately, you want to have this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Hebrews chapter 10 and verse 34 and verse 36. For ye have need of patience, that after ye have done the will of God, ye might receive the promise. That's right. After you have done the will of God, that you have received the promise. And we were promised to get put in our land, new bodies, everlasting rulership. We enjoy heirs with YAHAWASHI HaMashiach. Okay, being saved. Ultimately, salvation is to never be underneath another nation ever again. You see how that is today. You got to pay them taxes. You got to go to work for them. You got to do all this shit for them. Okay? Your labor goes to them. All your hours. You go to school, then what? You got to pay them. You got to give them all your power, your force, your life force goes to them. Hebrews chapter 10, verse 37, for yet a little while, and he that shall come will come and will not tarry. So he that will come shall come. And will not tarry. And that's talking about YAHAWASHI. He's not tarrying. He's ready to go. Yahweh's not tarrying either. But there's a certain amount of measurement of wickedness that needs to be fulfilled. And he's gonna bring all of it out. He's gonna get all of the wickedness out. And as he's doing that, he's making his men more precious to fine gold. So we got a lot more, not a lot more, but we got more to go through, more to be afflicted with. Just like gold needs to go through the furnace of fire. That's what you're going through. You have to go through the furnace, man. The furnace of affliction. You gotta go through it, man. That's why you gotta take it cheerfully. No matter what this devil puts upon us, at the end of the process, it's gonna be like fine gold. In the time when this place is, it's gonna be upside down. Those stores are gonna be open. People are gonna be taking the MOTB. You're gonna be like fine gold going through a furnace. People are gonna be giving up on their faith. People are gonna be taking the MOTB. People are gonna be killing their kids, killing their friends, robbing, stealing. But you're gonna be firm-footed. You're gonna be okay. Your faith is gonna be complete. You're gonna be perfect. Even if you go to jail, you're gonna be there. Guess what? You're gonna give you a crown of life, he said. No matter what this devil does, it ain't gonna have no effect. You're gonna be able to do things that these people ain't got no power to do, no authority to do. They can't even come out and serve the Lord, man. They can't do that, man. They're weak. They're weak, man. Hebrews chapter 10 and verse 38. Now the just shall live by faith, but if any man draw back, my soul shall have no pleasure in him. That's right, the just, the elect, shall live by faith. But if any man draw back, my soul shall have no pleasure in him, meaning you're going to be destroyed. You draw back, see you later. It tells you in the book of Exodus that the Lord is a man of war. And we're soldiers for Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. Okay, if you don't, you know, you got to know that. You know, during a war, especially in a spiritual war, you got to have your mind on your mission. And the mission is to glorify the Lord in the fires. Like it tells you in Isaiah the 24th chapter. Fires are going through your trials and your afflictions. This is all, this is what you gotta prepare your mind for, man. There's more afflictions, more bills, more people fucking you over, more Israelite men talking shit. Let them do it. Who gives a fuck? Everybody got something they gotta do, and everybody's not gonna make it through what they're gonna make it to. We're gonna see at the end, the Lord's gonna show you at the end who was who. That's all that matters. All right? Hebrews chapter 10, in verse 39. But we are not of them that who draw back unto perdition. Perdition. We're not of them that draw back into perdition, meaning destruction, but of them that believe to the saving of the soul. So that's what we're doing. We believe to the saving of the soul, and I'm gonna end it there. Lord's will, this was edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah, Bahashim Yahawashi, Bahashim Chakadash, Shalom, Abba Ball, Kwam Yasharala.